What's going on, guys? It's your boy beatsbyash back at it again with another banger of a video. And today I wanted to shed some light on a deck that came out just around this time last year and was taking Modern by storm, and I was never actually able to afford before it became inevitably banned. And I am talking about 4-color Elemental Up the Beanstalk. This deck is absolutely amazing, and with the new release of the Elementals and Modern Horizons 3 now being available on Arena, this is an awesome deck to play in Timeless, especially in conjunction with a new tool being added to the deck from Modern Horizons 3, Phage, Titan of Fire's Fury, being an insane game piece in this deck. This card has done so much for this archetype, and I am almost certain that if this card was legal during the time that Elemental Beanstalk reigned rampant in Modern, that it would have surely been played, because this card can be used to trigger both of your elementals, and it is also just an exceptional powerhouse in its own right. So I hope you guys enjoy the deck profile and as well as the games, and without further ado, let's get into the goo. We are back. Here is the deck that we are going to be showcasing today, and I have to say, this is probably the deck that I have enjoyed the most out of my entire time playing Magic the Gathering, which spans back over 10 years, give and take a couple breaks along the way. And I think that's just because, as a person who has a vast Yu-Gi-Oh background, the elementals that are newly released for arena play really resonate with my playstyle, because as many of you may know, Yu-Gi-Oh is the only top card game which does not have a mana restriction for playing their cards onto the battlefield, and that's exactly what these 8 elementals allow us to do. Instead of playing them for their normal cost, we also have the option to play them for 0 mana by exiling a card from their respective color from our hand, and then they are sacrificed when entering play, but we still get their effect, which leads to some massive advantage and huge tempo swings. Now, the glue of this deck is made up by this card right here, Up the Beanstalk, which is currently banned in Modern, as well as Fury. And this card says, when it enters the battlefield and when you cast a spell with a mana value of 5 or greater, we are able to draw a card. So essentially, what we're looking to do is putting this onto the battlefield as soon as possible, and then when we activate our elementals for 0 or for their normal cost, which happens pretty regularly, we will be able to draw a card. So if we did use the evoke cost on our elementals, we essentially don't go -1 in card advantage, and if we have 2 beanstalks on the board, we actually get a +1 in card advantage by activating a very powerful card without actually using any of our mana. Now, the same goes for this card right here, Leyline Binding, which has been a staple in any 5-color strategy since its conception just a couple years back. Now, that is really important to understand, because this card triggers even if the cost of the card you are playing has been reduced. So even if we play our Leyline Binding for 1 mana, it did start at 6 mana, which guarantees us the trigger. And another important note about this card is that you draw the card on cast, which can be beneficial and can be non-beneficial, because your opponent, even if they counter one of our spells, we still get to draw, so we still go +1 in that exchange. But also, it makes it to where if you try to play something like Fury or Solitude, then you will draw the card on the stack, and if you're trying to answer, let's say, your opponent's Bowmaster, they will get to trigger their Bowmaster before you get to put your card onto the battlefield, which sometimes can really hurt. Now, this is a card that I think a lot of people have undervalued, and it's kind of gone under the radar. Fragment Reality. This is an Alchemy exclusive card, so it has never been available in paper, and I think that's why a lot of people look past it. For just 1 mana, we can exile any non-token artifact, creature, or enchantment our opponent controls, elementals, then they put a random creature with a lesser mana value from their library onto the battlefield tapped. So this is really, really strong on Arena right now, specifically in Timeless, because if our opponent plays a turn 1 Ragavan, well then we aren't Swords of Plowsharing it, so they're not gaining back any life, and also their card costed 1, so they're not actually getting a creature. And if you go against some of the like all spells combo oriented decks that are trying to do some broken OTK, sometimes they don't get anything, even if you kill something that costs 4. You know, it also has that added versatility of targeting enchantments or artifacts, which really, really comes up clutch. And it is also another card we can exile with our Solitude because it is white. Likewise, with the Lightning Bolt, this is just a very strong card in the format since Timeless has become very, very fast-paced with the red-white Boros energy deck, and as well the scam decks, Ragavan being everywhere. This is just a solid card to include, and I decided to go with the 2-2 split because I think both of them have their implications, and also I wanted to have an even amount of cards to be able to use as fodder for our 8 elementals. Now, this is probably the biggest addition to this deck. This is a new card from Modern Horizons 3, Flage, Titan of Fire's Fury, and I think this card really went under the radar on release, but is now taking the modern meta by storm, and potentially some other formats, but we will have to wait and see. Honestly, I tried to make this deck work in so many ways, and it really didn't come together until I added this card, because not only does this card allow us to pitch it for our Fury and our Solitude, which makes it a very solid, versatile card, it also allows us to have a total of 5 elementals that can then be brought back from the graveyard in the late game, which I find to be very, very impactful because of our Fable of the Mirror Breaker, and as well the massive amount of fetch lands that this deck plays. These giants really, really come up, and Escape is amazing in this deck. Also, this just gives us a good early game card to play that allows us to remove a threat and gain back life. And the life is very important in this deck because until we get to start gaining life with our Omnath, a lot of times the more aggressive strategies can just kill you faster than you can set up your board. So I think this is the biggest difference that I've done with the deck that's actually allowed me to find success in Timeless, because before this card, I was having a lot of trouble with the more aggressive strategies alongside the scam decks, which is probably one of the worst matchups for this deck because sometimes your opponent just removes one of your engine pieces, being your Beanstalk or your Fable, or maybe they just Grief Reanimate, which is really, really broken right now, and I don't know why that is allowed, and then you just have no plays. So having a total of 5 giants is really, really clutch because sometimes they have to make you discard one of these, and if they discard another card besides these, then it's just putting more cards in the graveyard for your Escape. Now, you do have to watch out for the dreaded Deathrite Shaman, which is somewhat popular, but not as popular as it once used to be in Timeless. And Fable of the Mirror Breaker is another cornerstone of this deck because this card allows us to discard our 5 giants for free and then escape with them later, essentially just giving us a +1 or +2 in card advantage, or it just allows us to fill the grave with more cards that we can escape with these cards later, which is really, really huge. It also allows us to get to our combo pieces faster, either, more cards to use for targets on your Solitude and Fury, or just finding the Beanstalk, which is very, very important in this deck for obvious reasons. And one of the disadvantages of playing this on Arena versus the powerhouse it was in Modern at the release of Wilds of Eldraine is that we do not have the 3-mana Cascade creature, and Bloodbraid Elf has become a little bit power crept at this point. So we aren't able to as consistently access the Beanstalk. So that's why Fable of the Mirror Breaker really, really helps out. Another important implication about this card is if you have an elemental on the field, even if you evoke, when you activate this card on the stack before it's going to be sacrificed, if you have the Reflection of Kiki Jiki, you can then respond and get a copy of a Fury or a Solitude, trigger the respected effect, and get in for some damage, which is really relevant with Fury because he's threatening them for a total of 6. That combined with the Flage can really allow you to finish off people. With how many fetches people are playing in this format, it's almost like most people are just starting out at 10 life, which makes this card really amazing. Now, obviously, we gotta have the boy Oko Thief of Crowns. I think this is just a staple in almost any control deck in this format. It gives us a value engine to play with if our opponent is just trading 1-for-1 with our cards. And in a simplified game state, you probably just always win with this card. It's also a good option to be able to answer like a wide variety of threats in the meta. And the timeless meta is very diverse. So I find this card pretty important, but I think 3 copies is probably correct. And then we have our boy Omnath, the Locus of Elementals. He is not only just a fodder for both of our elementals, which makes him exceptional in this deck, he's also really strong with cards like Fable. A very common play that I will do is I will play the Fable. When it gets to my 4th turn, I have Omnath in hand and I attack with the 2/2, gives us a treasure, which then puts us at a total of 4 mana before playing our land for turn. And then I play the Omnath using the treasure, and if I have a fetch land in hand, that allows me to trigger Omnath's ability for his landfall trigger 2 times, which brings us back up to a total of 5 mana, since we will have the land that we got off our fetch, plus the 4 mana from himself, which could allow us to potentially bring back one of our Titans, or it could allow us to just play one out of hand. It could allow us to play a Beanstalk. It could allow us to play a Fury or a Solitude because, you know, that is 5 mana you're generating. So we could hard cast one of these. And if you have a Beanstalk, that's absolutely amazing. Not to mention this card just replaces itself on play. And this deck probably plays more fetches than most decks in the meta. So that makes this card really exceptional. And I think the life gain is very important because sometimes you just fetch and then you have another one on your opponent's turn to get back even more life, considering there is an ample amount of reach in this format. But that's going to be it for the deck profile. If you guys have any questions about the deck or any suggestions, make sure to let me know down below in the comments. And one last thing I want to mention about the mana base, I'm currently playing 1 Surveil land in the form of Elegant Parlor. I think I might actually take something out to play a 2nd Surveil land, because now that we're using 5 total Titans, the Surveil to put something in the graveyard is very relevant, and it just makes those hands better where you end up with too many lands and maybe they answered your Omnath, so you're not getting as much value from them. That is definitely something I'm interested in trying, but today we're gonna roll with what we got. So let's go ahead and hop into these games. All right, hopping into match number 1 here. Our opponent is going to be starting off on the play. Typically what I'm looking for in the mulligan is that I have at least probably 3 lands, ideally, and then 1 engine. So something like a Fable or a Beanstalk is really good to start with. Maybe an Uro Titan if your hand is very land dense. But this is also just a good hand because not only do we have 1 engine, we have 2. So if our opponent has a Thoughtseize, we're likely to still be able to play the game. So I think I'm Gucci with this. Oh, he's starting with the DRC. That's really scary. Probably going to need to find a Phage here. Well, we do have a Leyline Binding. I could just exile that, but it seems a little bit bad here. So I think I'm just going to start off with the fetch. Probably go get a Tri-Land. Now, hopefully our opponent does not have a Mishra's Bauble. That card is really insane. Oh, he's got an Amped Raptor. Okay. Could be very scary. Into a Monastery Swift Spear. That is the one thing this deck lacks, is we don't have any AoEs. But luckily, he is not able to turn on his DRC. Now, I'm going to go ahead and crack this fetch. Probably getting a Triome. And let's go ahead and get the Raw Grind Triome so we have a white available. So we are missing green and black. So I guess here I can go ahead and play down this. And then that will turn on our Leyline Binding to 2. And then since we top deck this Fury, we're going to be able to do this right here. Get rid of our 2nd Fable. And we're going to be able to easily clear up this field here. Well, that was really, really clutch. Sometimes you don't need AoEs because you do have a Fury. Now, it is very unfortunate that we don't have access on Arena to Fire and Ice. That is another really premium removal in this deck. Slickshot Show Off. Never seen this card. So it is a 1-2 flying haste, and when you cast a non-creature spell, you get +2/0. Okay. That seems Gucci to me. I guess I'm going to wait and see if he tries to do something in the damage step. So he's going to go ahead and Lightning Bolt. That makes me really want to Leyline Binding that. So we're going to go down to 13, but we can go ahead and play Fable here. I already have 2 blue sources, so I probably just want this white, and I don't want to use my Steam Vents. So we're going to have a 2-2 on the field. Next turn, I'm probably going to discard the Steam Vents. I don't know that I really want to pay for it at this point because we are getting kind of low. Hopefully we'll top deck like an Omnath and a Fetch so we can do the combo. Okay, Mishra's Bobble, but he doesn't have anything else. He's a Mishra's Workshop, though. He has Mishra Control. Triple Mishra Control. Okay, I see you, my guy. Yes, look at our Omnath. Know that we're finding Omnath. I get it. Okay, found a Bolt. Bolt might be kind of important here. It's very, very tough. I mean, I think I just get rid of both. The upside of drawing here is just really, really high. Plus, this has Flash, so worst case scenario, I play this, and then we get the treasure token. Ooh, we got a Beans and another Solitude. That's very, very good. I probably just play the Beans here, and then I can Solitude for 0. This will dig us deeper into the deck here. And we get an Oko. Great, great. Because now we can go in with our 2-2 here. We can get a treasure token. Play down the island. We don't have to pay any life for that, so that's really good. Put down the Oko. Activate Oko's effect. +2. Why are both of Oko's effects a plus ability? I don't know why. I just abuse the cards. And now we kind of have this guy in a soft lock because we're making food and we have a Solitude that we can use right here. Unstable Amulet. Okay, he's using one of the new cards. That card's really strong. See what he gets here. No Amp Raptor, sir. Okay, he gets a Bloodstained Mire, so that's really good for us. I'll go ahead and give him a food. Yeah. I know, I have a lot of food. I'm kind of a cool guy like that. It could be respectable if he hits our Planeswalker to just take it and just play this for 5. Okay, he's going to go face. I think he's not representing any additional damage. He has a Bloodstained Mire. I think it's fair here to just take this one. It's unlikely that he's going to be able to deal 10 damage. Maybe he has that red card that allows him to exile the top 2 if you deal damage. Okay, well, he doesn't have it. That's really good. Because hard playing the Solitude here is huge. Because now I'll be able to use the second Solitude with the Leyline Binding. And if I want, I can start making this into a 3-3. Start just pressuring him. That's probably worth it. So we're going to make our food a 3-3 here. Go to combat. Grab our treasure token. Leave this up as a blocker. Probably could have attacked with the food because we're going to have 3 total blockers anyway with a Solitude, but it doesn't really matter. I think we've just got this guy by the balls. Draw off of our Beanstalk. Draw into another Solitude. Opponent's very salty right now. Give the opponent back 1 life because I'm a very kind and sincere person. And then we'll just pass over to him. Don't worry, my Oko is just ready to ult at any moment. Okay, he's going to play the Bloodstained Mire. He's going to go fetch for something, sure. I don't think you really need lands here, but sure, buddy. Experimental Synthesis. Haven't seen that one in a long time. As additional costs to this spell, sacrifice an artifact, deal 5 damage to any target. Okay, that's pretty good. He's just going to go ahead and go face. Well, that's really scary. We're now at 4, and he can roll us into an Amped Raptor. So he might just lethal us out of nowhere. Oh my gosh, that's vile. Okay, well, he doesn't have the mana for it, though. He doesn't have the mana. We're legit here. Oh my gosh, we're insane. Let's go. Thank you, Oko. Thank you for being fruitful. Ooh, and there's an Omnath. Unfortunately, I don't have a land to play to gain back life, but I can gain back life from this Solitude, and then I can copy it. So that seems pretty legit. We're getting back 6 life. Tap our blue, and then we'll just go ahead and remove his Raptor. This is 6, 12, 13, 14. If we had a Flage, it would just be game, which would be really cool. Make our treasure here. Now, I guess we can Omnath, or we could just Oko and make a food token for safe measure. That's probably just better. Alright, we're back at a total of 12 here, with a Leyline Binding and a Solitude available at our disposal. Now, he does not have 2 energy available for this. At most, he could do 10 here. Okay, sure. Well, that's just going to be game. Very unfortunate for you, sir. I will go ahead and Solitude for fun here. Show him I have 3 Solitude. Draw off of the Beans, because Beans is a fun and fair card. Yes, sirski, brother. Easy dub in the books. You saw it here first. Fury killing 3 people on the second turn of the game is absolutely vile. All right, our opponent is going first, and we do only have 2 lands, but we do have an Up the Beanstalk, and I can Solitude for free. This also could give us Domain 5 if I want for the double Leyline. I think it's a keeper. Can we draw the new good card, Flage? I would love to use that card. Oh, that's broken. I guess I have double fetch, so I could go get Parlor, and then I could go get Zagoth Trione. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, Ragavan. Don't have an instant that protects your card. Alright, we'll respond with a Solitude on the stack, removing Leyline Binding number 1 from my hand. Do you have a counterspell? You do not. You don't have access to a blue, sir. I'm going to get rid of that Ragavan. I'm a nice guy. I will give you 2 HP. You're back to 20. I just gave you a free shock there. How about that? He's going to go ahead and pass. I'm going to go ahead and crack this. Go get a Parlor. Surveil 1, second Beanstalk. Beanstalk's probably pretty good. I mean, I already have 1 Beanstalk. I don't know how much we want a second one. I really want to find a Titan here. Okay, we get another fetch. So that's kind of good. Because now we can fetch for the Zagoth Triome to have Domain if we need to. Let's go ahead and crack this. Okay, I didn't even get to see what I was getting. Sure. I guess I just get a basic forest. Fuck it. Basic forests are cool, I guess. I literally didn't even get to see what land cards were in my deck. And a land was just selected for me. That was cool. He's going to respond with the Orcish Bowmaster. Get to draw a card because he's a broken-ass boy. Let me draw a red card to Fury this little boy. Okay, that's a red card. I'm killing this shit. This shit is broken. Oh, into a Flage. That's hella nice. I'm going to be able to kill both of these. We're going to go down to 15. Yes, sir. We'll target both. Filling the graveyard for the Flage, which is absolutely amazing. And I still have access to my Leyline Binding, which we have Domain potential here. Hopefully he does not go Ragavan into dash mode. That'd be really irritating. I'm just going to reanimate my Fury. That rat bastard. You did a bastard, you. Okay, no Ragavan dash mode. That was nice. I could Fury this, but I think this is just too powerful, giving us the life back here. So I have to use my fetch, unfortunately. We have a red, white, green, so I need to access a blue here, technically. I'm probably just down for a blue-red. Probably just down for a Steam Vents here, I think. It could be a Sacred Foundry, just for escaping with that guy. I mean, we have 5 cards in grave. That might be somewhat relevant. I guess I'm down for another red-white source here. Just turn on the Flage. We'll go ahead and drop it down here. No responses, sir. I just have the most broken escape card ever printed. Don't worry about it. It's also just a fun and fair card. 3 mana, Lightning Helix, buyback later. You love to see it. The buyback is available. Unfortunately, I don't have the sources to do it yet. I have a Scalding Tarn, which doesn't turn that on. We just play this tap. We are now 1 turn away from bringing this back, which is really, really nice, because I don't think this guy has any counter spells. This is the battle of the low rollers, you see. Okay. We get a Fragmented Reality. That's a little bit nice. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this. Crack this off, and that is our 8th card. So we are within range. That's a red, white. So I'm going to go get a Steam Vents here. I could get a green. Yeah, what the heck? I'm going to go get a Stomping Ground. Bring back the Flage here because we're crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I should have exiled my creature so he couldn't reanimate. That was a misplay by me. Yeah, that was a huge misplay by me. I left him with the Solitude. Rip. Hopefully he doesn't have a reanimate. Yeah, I got too used to thinking about not exiling my creatures. But that's actually really good now that people are main decking reanimate at this point in just any black deck. I mean, that's what the elementals will do to a format. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and Lightning Helix you, sir. He's going to go sack for a Bloodstained Mire. And he's going to Fatal Push that. Okay. Sure. Well, I've got a shot in the dark here. Hopefully he does not reanimate our Fury. Okay, sweet. Well, I could just hard cast Fury here. If I play this and I pay the 2, it leaves us with a Fragmented Reality, which is probably fine. Draw the 1 here. Into a Beans. We're nice. Beans kind of nice like that. Submit 0. Ideally, he does not have a Reanimate here. That'd be very toxic, sir. He's got a Fury of his own. Okay. Hard play the Fury. Get rid of my Fury. Sure. I think if I Fragment Reality, he actually just goes and gets like a Bowmaster from his deck. So I'm probably just not interested in that. Alright, we have an Uro. Uro is kind of nice. And I have a Leyline Binding for that. He's tapped out, so he cannot Bowmaster. It might be just a better time to just drop this. Because we're going to draw 2 off the Leyline. Ooh, that's nice. Fuck it. We go Triple Beans. When in doubt, Triple Beans, baby. Okay. Can we get a land? Triple Beans on the stack, baby. You got to make sure you don't deck out with this deck, because the Beans can deck you out very easily. That's why I like the Elementals, because once you have the Beans online, you have a win condition via your Titans that come back at a cost of 4 and not 5. So they won't trigger the Beans, but they can end the game indeed. Well, I have a fetch here, which can go find us a white source or a red source. I believe so. I don't know if we have any Sacred Foundries left. Yeah, we don't have a Sacred Foundry. We don't have a Sacred Foundry left, so I guess technically I cannot find a red source, but I can find a white, and this card is arguably better in this situation than the Bolt. I have 5 cards in the grave, so if I sack this fetch and then I do the Fragmented Reality on his turn, that will set us up for a Titan of our choosing from the grave. Most likely going to be the Flage. I'm probably not in danger of decking here, so I think I could just Fury with the Bolt. That's just going to be a +3 in card advantage, which is absurd. I'm going to put this into the graveyard. And I'm just going to get the Zoggoth in case we draw a Leyline Binding, because we have the potential to draw a lot of cards here. That's a Fable. That's really, really nice. I could just play this. I have 7 mana, so if we play this, we just revive Phage, which is pretty good. And then we're going to be able to exile our graveyard, which is really nice, because then he can't reanimate. We also have another Uro in hand, so we're not at risk. Ooh, I'll put that on the battlefield, sir. Yes, sir. Now we have a another white source available. I could just fetch this and go get a white now. That way we'll have the Uro Titan left in grave. He's not going to want to reanimate that. And we're going to be gaining 3 back here, so we don't really care about paying for the fetch. Okay, we're going to go ahead and just get probably Temple Garden. I probably want to have the Fragment Reality over the Bolt. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my Flage here. And let's get rid of these elementals so he cannot reanimate, so he doesn't have an built-in answer to my Flage. Sweet. And what's really good is that your opponent won't be able to reanimate these since they just sacrifice on play, so you're not really risking anything by leaving them in the graveyard. Obviously, if your opponent has a Deathray Shaman, they have a Deathray Shaman, but that card's becoming less and less popular. Molten Collapse. Okay. I mean, that's good with me, man. Opponent passes back to us. We draw an Oko, which is broken in a simplified game state. How many mana do we have? 3, 6, 7, 8. So I think I can play Fury and then still Oko. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Draw 3 cards. Drawing 3 cards seems really good for us. 1, a 2, a 3. Ooh, that's nice. Submit 0. He's gonna go ahead and bolt that anyway. Okay, he's just trolling. Bro, my guy was evoked. Or no, my guy wasn't evoked. I'm dumb. I'm actually really dumb. I thought my guy was evoked there. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and drop down an Oko. I could have played down Fable, but I think Oko's just way better in the situation. And Oko is gonna do it, boys. You saw it here first. Flage is as good as advertised. Alright, well, we do have a Beanstalk and double Solitude with a Leyline Binding as well as a fetch, so this seems pretty good. I'm going to be able to use the fetch to get our Elegant Parlor, or I can turn Domain online. Both of those seem like very good options. He's going to start off with a Grief, just get rid of our Beanstalk. You dirty bastard, you. Hopefully he does not have a reanimate here because that is very unfair. And he's got a Not Dead After All, so he's going to get rid of our Solitude or our Leyline Binding alongside up the Beanstalk. And basically put us in a top deck situation. Well, we can still get something good here. Get a Surveil land here. Hopefully we hit like something. Hopefully we hit maybe Beanstalk. Okay, let's go ahead and crack it. Elegant Parlor it is. Omnath. I don't know how much I really like that. I don't think I like that at all. I think I want to find like a Flage here maybe. Fury, okay. Can't use Fury yet. And I guess that is Exile, which is like okay. Player shock tapped here. Just go ahead and kill this. Hopefully he doesn't have another Thoughtseize effect. He's just going to pass. We get a Fable to Mirror Breaker right on time, baby. Fable it up, baby. Let's go. I need a dirty Fable draw in my life. Let me get an Elemental. Let me get a Titan. Titan would be so nice. He's going to get a Surveil land of his own. Okay. Next turn, I can technically hard play this. And he doesn't know we have that, so that's good. He's just going to pass. Okay, I got the beans. I believe in the beans, baby. Believe in the beans. I mean, I kind of just won all these cards. Let's go to combat. See if we can get the treasure token here. Sweet. Play the beans. Draw a goodie here. He's going to crack the Bloodstained Mire. Hopefully he does not have a reanimate. That would be extremely toxic here. He could get back my Omnath or my Solitude. Ooh, Omnath it is, baby. Let's work. Well, it's not a fetch, so I'm just going to drop it down. It is a fodder for our Fury, which makes this Beans very, very strong here. He's going to go ahead and crack a fetch here. Hard casting a Fury of his own, killing our treasure token, sure. Well, I guess I'll probably just hard cast my Fury so I can kill your Fury and draw. Seems like a pretty good value play. Ooh, and an Oko. That's very nice. Well, if this Fury lives, we can start copying it, which is pretty nice. So let's go ahead and hard play this. Draw off the Beans. Get a fetch here. We're crazy. Oh, just get another Fury. Sure. Well, that's very nice because now, if he somehow removes our first Fury, we can then go second Fury and still use Reflection of Kiki-Jiki to get a double trigger. Assuming Reflection lives, because that card is just kill on sight nowadays. There's a reason this card is banned in a couple formats. He's going to hard cast a Fury. Is he going to kill our Fury or a Reflection of Kiki-Jiki? Just kill our Fury? Okay, that's great for us. Yeah, we're winning in life, baby. Oh my gosh, we're winning in life. Wait, is this just a vile play, chat? I think this is just vile. Yeah, this seems like literally absurd. So we're going to play Omnath, draw a card here. Ooh, great. We're going to play our fetch, gain back 4 life, use this ability, go get a red source. So I guess we just have to get this. Pay the 2 life, gain the 4 mana, hard cast our Fury, draw another card, killing his Fury. Yes, sir, ski brother. Let's get in for the 2. Yep, that's what happens when you try to mess with the Beanstalk OG, bro. This deck is so good in simplified game states because we can just trade back and forth like big dudes, and I'll just keep getting +1s. Okay, sure. It'd be really nice to find a Flage here. Okay, so that's 1 trigger for Omnath. That's just life. This is an Oko. Oh, it's just an Oko here. Oko here with a Leyline Binding. We're just going to go ahead and make a food token because food tokens are very cool. And then we're just going to enter tapped with this, get back 4 life. Go to combat. Swing 6 here. He has got a Orcish Bowmasters. Do I want to respond with a Leyline Binding? If I want to, I can Leyline Binding that and keep the thing. I think I'd rather just Leyline Binding that. He's going to keep his token, but that's fine. This card's broken. I don't want him to have that. Sure, buddy. I will get rid of the Bowmasters. Bowmasters is not fair. And I plan on drawing more cards with my Beans anyway. Okay, he's going to play a... Is that his 3rd or 4th Fury? It's 3rd Fury. Okay. I see you, my guy. I see you, my guy. And my Oko is going to have to take you out. My Oko is going to have to take you out here. I'm going to exchange control, son. No, don't do that. Don't do that, sir. Don't. I can't allow you to do that, sir. Well, that's a Fable. Could make his guy into just a regular 3/3. Could be okay. I mean, my Fable is just going to make a token to protect us. This could turn him into a regular 3/3. And then we could turn our guy into a regular 3/3. And then we just have an Oko in a simplified game state again. That seems pretty legit. Or I could just make this a token and create another token. Yeah, no, I like that. I like this. So I'm going to make his guy a 3/3. Now I'm going to play my Oko. I'm going to keep this Oko. I'm going to use the ability. I'm going to make this a 3/3. So now we are trading. I'm going to keep my Rainforest in hand so we can discard it with Fable if he does not end up Bowmastering us again. Alright, now he has a Green Fury. Green Fury is kind of pog, not going to lie. You got to put some respect on the Green Fury. It is the hidden elemental that we never knew we needed. And I'm out here with my Naners. I'm playing Naner Beatdown at this point. Naner beatdown is very ferocious in the current timeless meta. Let it be known. Okay, he's attacking with both. I think I'm down to just trade that. Just take the 2. If he has a bolt, though, he just kills it. I'd rather keep my Oko than this token. So I guess we're just doing this. Top deck something juicy with the Fable. You don't have a 4th Fury, brother. You don't have it. No Fury, no Bowmasters. Or Reanimate. Reanimate would be very viable right now. Man, Reanimate is just the card of the day. We've seen that card so many times, and it's just so insane and timeless right now. There's a reason it is banned in Modern, and it should be banned in Timeless as well. Well, it honestly just shouldn't be on Arena. Okay, he's going to Reanimate my Fury. I knew it. I knew this guy was going to do some BS, man. I knew he was going to do some BS. Well, give me a dirty draw. That's a dirty draw. Let's go. Get rid of our Rainforest. He has no Bowmaster. We are so lit right now. I'm going to go ahead and play the Flage. And then I should have enough mana. Yeah, I've got some White Shock, so I can do this play here. So we're going to kill that guy. Gain back 3. Sacrifice him. Replay this. I've got 2 red. I need to make another white here. We'll go get a green-white. Pay the 2 life because I like gaining life. Play the Phage because this card is exceptional in our deck. I mean, he can already revive back his Furies anyway. I'm going to get rid of the Solitude just because it doesn't trade with the Phage. And that should be good. It's very important to be able to get rid of your Solitudes because everybody just has Reanimate out of nowhere. And then we're just going to go ahead and create a food token. Because Oko is fair like that, baby. Well, sir. I have a Flage, Titan of Fate's Fury, and you have a 4th Fury. That is crazy, bro. That is freaking crazy. Alright, well, I have another Fury. Well played, sir. You're messing with the Fury Jit, son. You want to go 4 Fury? I'll match you at 4 Fury. Let's go, baby. Well, I hope that showcased to you why Flage is an absolute amazing card. Overall, I think this deck is a lot of fun, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this. If you haven't gotten a chance to play with this deck and you can actually craft it because it is quite expensive, I definitely recommend that you do so because the deck is an absolute blast. I've tried other variants with like the One Ring. The One Ring is also kind of cool, but so far Flage has been the one that has worked for me the best as just like a late game ending piece. I also think you could maybe like adjust the amount of Uro Titan, maybe go down to 1, play 4 Flage, because the card is just so impactful and it creates like double targets for your Solitude and Fury, and that is for sure very, very important. I think the Fable the Mirror Breaker is honestly mandatory, just because of the synergy with these and just being able to set up that turn 4 Omnath interaction. But overall, I am having a huge blast with this deck. I would love to make a best 2 out of 3 variant with this deck using a sideboard, because I think the deck's probably just going to be better in best 2 out of 3. You know, there's a lot of cards that can kind of just steal the game in best of 1, and this is more of like a shell to be utilizing a toolbox deck. Like obviously cards like Endurance and Subtlety are really good in this side deck, and you know, aggro decks can sometimes just steal the game from you in Timeless with how powerful it is, especially with that nasty Reanimate going around. Really hope that you guys enjoyed this gameplay here, and if you want to see more, make sure to smash the like button, turn post notifications on, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another banger. And as always, if it's not the goo, it's got to go. Peace.
Is that indigo?